Howdy, howdy, ladies and gentlemen. SeKo Starcraft back with some more SC2 action. We have got Khyira. I'm gonna say Khyira. Khyira, red Terran in the top right, versus Liquidret, blue Zerg in the bottom left. The hell have I been smoking all day? Anyways, another Team Liquid game. I do enjoy following Team Liquid. One of my favorite foreign teams. Obviously been around a long time. And Ret's been around a long time as well. I do like seeing non-Korean players still playing at the top level, as bad as that might sound. I mean, the Korean players are obviously some of the best in the world. But you do like seeing they're still considered foreign players like Ret doing really good at the top scenes against these kinds of opponents. It just gives you hope that, you know, outside of Korea, countries can really still excel at esports in general. Because I believe it is going to continue to grow. We just don't really have the facilities set up right now within our, well, I'm from Canada, but North America, really to pump out some of the best players that can compete with people that make this their full-time job. I know, for instance, people like Suppy is, I believe, in like pre-med as he is playing all of his action right now. That's kind of what you have to do. I had a friend who is really, really good at Starcraft 2, but obviously he wants to go into being computer science, and it's hard to be able to be at the top of the game unless you're sponsored to be here playing with the professionals. This base will be going down shortly after the Reaper. Pretty sure Ret sees that. Yes, he does. So he knows what that's about. There is a Reaper on the way. We have 4 Zerglings, the standard counter to having a Reaper in your base. Queens are about to pop. They will be slightly delayed though. He is going to microwave some of the hurt workers. Here comes out the Zerglings. Still no drones at this bottom expansion, particularly because there's obviously nothing down here to defend them. Microwing back the hurt Zerglings quite well. Loses 1 there, unfortunately, but the Queen is now out. But the second Reaper is now here. Oh, pardon me. This Queen is also out. Trying to keep these Zerglings alive. Queen is here. Gets another Zergling. Gets one more Zergling. Oh, it does manage to pick up one of the Reapers. That's a little unfortunate. 2 Reapers, a lot more powerful than just 1. Obviously able to deal a lot more damage a lot more quickly. This bad boy is almost finished. We're going to have the factory move over on top of that. Still have that Reaper sitting over there. These Queens have to worry about their injects, so they're not going to be able to hunt this thing down forever. Lots of damage on the Reaper. It is going to have to run home. Speed is on the way, as well as more drones. But the expansion is up for the Terran player. A few more Zerglings on the way. Looks like Speed just finished up, so he'll be able to control the map quite well. I've been playing some Zerg lately, and it's so tempting to not get that speed out right away, just to focus on getting up more workers and more workers, but if you don't have that speed, sometimes it's quite tough to be able to fight against these kind of Terran pressures. He does get that 1 worker, which is good, and they will get away with their speed just fine. Still just droning up behind this. We have 2 more barracks on the way that are following our 1 hellion here. Don't lose the Overlord. Get back to your high ground perch. Is this high ground? I thought this was high ground. Yes, it is. Alright. 3rd base on the way. Looks like these Zerglings still managed to keep mostly alive. Looks like they lost 1 in there. But they should be okay as long as they get back to the creep here. I've had to really up my game in creep spread, starting to play Zerg a bit more. These early Terran pressures with Marines, Hellions, and Reapers. Oh, this is kind of funky. Actually managed to get a handful of workers there. He will lose all of his Zerglings, but he did get 4 workers so far. The Terran player has not been able to get any. Queen started over here first. Crawler going to move up into this position to intercept things that will be running by. going to try to cut down these creep tumors. It's worth his effort to try to kill those creep tumors. Once again, the creep so important right now in the current TVZ metagame. Third base already on its way over. I think that's really nice from Khyira there. Try to control some space with the Widow Mine. Obviously, the Zerg player sees this. Oh, he doesn't get the Overlord, the Merciful Marine. Big pile of Zerglings out on the map, just hunting for this group here. Gotta try and catch it off guard, just because if you don't, you can lose a lot of units pretty fast. Handful of Marines over here should be able to deal with these Zerglings, because they're not really going to put on any pressure right now. Ling's still hesitant to leave creep, just kind of guarding the tumors at the front here. Looks like they did try to run in here to get some damage. The Marines were more than fine to deal with that, and now we have the Widow Mine to protect that from any kind of quick run-bys. Playing against Terran now as a Zerg player, I'm afraid, I'm petrified of Widow Mine kills. It just can be so unlucky at times. Cancels those creep tumors in order to be able to save the active ones. I do like having this Overlord down here just to scout this path. Tried to get us around on those hellions. Great control out of Khyira though. Is he gonna get around it? He's forcing him back into the creep. Actually got a lot of it. Is he gonna keep chasing? He is. I don't know who really came out ahead there. I mean, this is the map control for the Terran, so he really doesn't want to lose those units. Let's look at the economy right now. Zerg player, quite a bit ahead, but you expect him to be really powering out those drones. No fourth base yet. That's what Khyira here is scouting for. Tech-wise, out of the Zerg player, we do see the roaches. I played roach against Terran, and it was hell. You need this creep for the vision to be able to see what's coming at you. Otherwise, you can just get rolled. So unfortunate. Looks like we're going to see the fourth base come down to the supply blocked. They're both supply blocked. Upgrades have been pretty good from the Zerg player here. 2-2 has started. Speed just finished up. And we see that... Oh, got blown the hell out of there with the mine. The next Zergling will try harder. It's interesting to put a turret there as part of the wall off. It's nice to scout around the map, just to pick off those Widow Mines as they're standing around there. Pretty good sized army here out of Khyira. Lots of Zerglings. It's a big roach army, and oh my god, that's a lot of banelings. This pressure is actually going to be really effective, because you see what he's doing is pressuring along the same place that he's expanding right now. Sending in a handful of lings, just to try to pull out the Widow Mine hits. Does have the Overseers in here. The Overseers are getting a little bit focused. Nope, maybe not. Huge amount of banelings. I'm surprised he hasn't pushed after the third base yet. Could do some huge damage to the third base. Once again, there aren't any tanks or anything here. Oh no! That Widow Mine was huge. Liquidret did get a ton of damage in, but it's very difficult to say if that was the most cost-effective trade. Most of this army is going to get cleaned up, it appears. Is he going to run away now? I think he probably should. Some more units up here at the top. I mean, he went out there before his 2-2 was finished, so he was on even upgrades with the Terran. If he had attacked, say now, he would have had a nice upgrade advantage. Space has not really been utilized yet, but he is keeping pretty good control. Looks like the Terran player wants to try to put the pressure back on the Zerg player here, but he's moving out at a bit of an awkward time. If Ret does attack now, you're going to see that Khyira is going to be caught with a much smaller army because of this. I think he sees this drop. Maybe not. He is moving his army back. Just a bit surprising. Unless he knows this drop is coming and really doesn't want to suffer to it. No static defenses. Red has been feeling fairly confident that the pressure he has put onto the Terran player is going to keep him fine. Big pile of bio down here. Looks like he's been scouted, so we'll see what he does. He is pushing at the north at the same time. I think this is a great move out of Khyira. It's going to throw the Zerg player quite off. He doesn't have anything here to deal with this push in from the south, and he could take a lot of damage. And he's just actually going to return home. Just feigning a bit of pressure to get some damage in. Almost loses one of his medevacs. The army of the Zerg player is pretty immobile, so it's going to take him a bit to try to run around back here to get in for that coverage. Queen goes down. Those lings are just going to run to their death. Try not to get your overseers killed for free. Oh boy. Pretty good baneling hits there. Did clean up the drop in the main. Drop at the bottom is getting cleaned up. Nice pickup there. You see he's dropping out single marines to try to detonate the banelings, trading a bit more cost effectively. And we see Khyira is actually taking the supply lead now. Very interesting setup of supply depots out here. Would actually work well against stuff like Ultralisks that are going to try to squeeze through those positions. Looks like he wants to get out, what do we got here? More reactors from more Widow Mines. Scans the army perfectly fine. We still see the mix-in of Hellbats into this army. Oh, Banelings, they're getting somewhat focused down. This isn't a really great, it's a good concave for Ret, but he's not going to trade cost effectively enough against this bio army. Doesn't have the Baneling count in here yet to really push with this. His fourth base should go down just without any trouble, but these Banelings coming in here, if he catches the Terran player in the wrong spot, could end up getting a lot of damage in. He did kill off almost all the workers at this base though. Ultralisk Den is on the way. Nothing to deal with the anti-air right now though. There's no spores, there's no spines. Just the mobility of the Terran is going to work wonders here. These Zerglings are just going to get mowed through. Picks up before any real damage happens. Once again, there really isn't much that the Zerg player can do without some anti-air. It's tough to say what he should get. Now he's getting some spore crawlers. Just mixing those into your bases is so effective. Taking out those medevacs, picking apart at the army. Looks like he's going to try pushing south this time. He's done a good job of controlling the north and taking care of the creep up on the top side. He's catching the Zerg army kind of out of position with this. Wasn't really worth it to use Banelings there. He's going to take care of most of this creep uncontested. Burrowing some Widow Mines just in case of the run by. Once again, another really good drop. We look at the units killed here. Well, it's only killed 14 workers. I actually expected more at this point. Another small drop at the top here. Looks like it's going to be able to cancel this base potentially. Does get really close and does end up losing that entire drop. Liquidret is staying pretty good with the supply, keeping pretty close. Upgrades pretty even for both players. The Ultralisks will be popping soon. Interesting spot for the Widow Mines on that side there. Oh shoot. Oh boy. He's only boarded one of those Widow Mines there, so looks like he'll get the rest down now. Did he get a fungal on him? Yes, he did. Good fungals on this army. Looks like he went for some sort of run by at the top here with just a handful of links, which is being pretty effective. Terran players also cancelling this base to the north. Does see if there's a third base for the Terran. Keeping the Terran to 3 bases is important, but being kept to 3 bases alone as a Zerg player is pretty rough as well. Looks like this bunker will clean up this run by. Almost got those factories down, but he will repair those up. Widow Mines over here. No shots getting off on this one. They are ready now. Medevac swinging back around for a little bit more damage. Lots of Widow Mines up here. See if he can bait in the Zerg player. Are these on cooldown? That's really funny that they didn't shoot. Stat drop does get cleaned up. Blammo. Gonna start moving over a 4th base, likely a planetary. I'm sure that Rhett knows that there's... Oh, shoot. I mean, having all the upgrades to armor is important. I'm surprised that in this whole game he's not gotten any range attack damage in here for any of his units, and he's been playing mostly Roach up until this point. Quite surprising. No mines here at the top. Let's see if he sends in a couple first and then goes for the pressure, or forgets completely that these are up here and does nothing. Sending in, yeah, just one first, just to see. Now the rest will come in. This Terran army might get a little bit sandwiched here. Going to get in a lot of damage up here to this base, but he might be at the cost of his own 3rd at the same time. Drones are coming out to fight. Not really a good move, but he doesn't want to lose that hatchery. Lost a handful of workers there, but as I'd mentioned, he really wants to try and keep that hatchery alive because he's having a tough time keeping his 4th base going. This kind of Roach Ultralisk mix is really strange. I think Rhett's in a pretty bad spot here though. Nice fungals on his army. Lots of medevacs here to try to keep it alive, and nothing to really shoot down the medevacs, even though they're fairly beat up. Great choke here for the Terran player. These Ultralisks are not being very effective. Well, that was pretty funny. Widowmine did take out the medevacs, but that's pretty much been GG for Red for a while. He has not had himself a good game. Positionally, he's just not been able to control the drops of the opponent. No static defense to deal with the small run-bys. So really great game out of Khyira. Hope you guys like that. We should be back with some more games, hopefully from Team Liquid here real soon.